Chukwu okike abịa ma ndị nwa na ndị nwe mmiri ndị nwe ikuku ndị nwe anyanwụ mmụọ nna nna anyị ochie mmụọ niile nwụrụ anwụ ka anyị dị ndụ mmụọ niile ọkwafọrọ ọbara ha n'ike maka ihe Biafra asị m unu gị nye enu asị m unu dododo na ọkwa na unu bụ ihe nwe ike a ọkwa na unu ga-eji ọgụ mmụọ ọkwa na unu ga-aga bụori ahịa ọkwa na unu ga-aga napụta ya maka na ihe ọ tinyere unu n'aka anaghị ele ule asị m dododo igirigi ọgụ mmụọ eze nwaanyị niile nọ n'ala Igbo mmụọ niile nọ n'ala Igbo asị m unu binye maka na onwe onye nọ n'ụwa na-anaghị aṅụ mmiri onwe onye nọ n'ụwa na-anaghị eri nnu nnu bụ ihe ụtọ si na mmiri wee pụta onye ọbụla na-eri ihe na-eri ihe dị na mmiri onye na-asa arụ ji mmiri asa arụ onye ọbụla na-eme ihe ọbụla ọ na-eme ji mmiri eme ya asị m ihe ọbụla mmadụ na-eme n'ụwa mmiri ọ na-ebubu ụzọ asị m onye ọbụla kpọrọ mmiri asị na mmiri a ga-agbagbu ya asị m onye ọbụla fụrụ mmiri n'anya ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla fụrụ mmiri n'anya ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla mmiri na-awụsa n'arụ ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye ọbụla mmiri na-emesa n'arụ ga-afụ Nnamdi Kanu n'anya onye na-aṅụ mmiri na-eli nnu asị m na ọnụ anyị ji wee lie nnu wee ṅụọ mmiri na ị ga-eji akwa okwu ọma n'isi Nnamdi Kanu n'aha Chukwu okike abịa
ise. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra land, and we are here live and direct as usual. Today is the 21st day of January 2023, being Saturday, a day dedicated to religious discussions. Therefore, draw nearer to your listening devices, please. Draw nearer and nearer to your listening devices because we have multiple of them. You can listen to us via our satellite. You can also listen to us via our numerous FM stations in many parts of Biafra land. Although there has been ongoing difficulties on some of our frequency modulation stations in Biafra land, FM, but IPOB leadership is trying her best in order to make sure that we are equal to the task. Moreover, you can also listen to us through IPOB Community Radio. Is our application, is a low data usage application, low data consuming application. Please, you can also listen to us through our direct Radio Biafra London app. You can download TuneIn or Simple Radio, where you can scroll and choose Radio Biafra London. Moreover, you can also type and ask Google, how can you listen to the Radio Biafra London, and it will give you multiple options to your demand. Therefore, once again, I welcome each and every one of you to today's edition of Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE. Today is 21st day of January 2022. Therefore, my name remains Mazi Chinedu, and Wada is here with me. But before I give him the microphone, I will also let us understand that our leader is still in the enemy dungeon. But make no mistake about it, he has been released, discharged and acquitted by the Nigerian court, appeal court. What they are playing at today is just disobedience to the rule of law as an irresponsible country, irresponsible government. But our leader must be released. Nigeria must obey her court order, the court verdict, and release our leader. It is a must. We are in this together. Therefore, I welcome each and every one of you. And for your information, please, some people have taken it as a duty in order to put out some confusions about the broadcast or coming on air of members of the DOS or HOD. Sometimes somebody will just be in his parlor with his smartphone and put out like what they did in that of Mazi Chinedu coming on air, which is lie. Please, anytime you hear such a thing, please go to Mazi Chinedu's wall if you have the means or the availability. Then you go to Mazi Chinedu's walls and you check it. Or you can also go to my wall, Jonas Raphael, in order to check. Also, you can, I'll say, you must hear it from this radio. Once you didn't hear it in this radio, know that anything they tell you is fake news, please. Because some people now have the habit of spreading this misinformation. It is misinformation. Many people started, calling in thinking that Mazi Chinedu was going to be on air, but if you go to his timeline, Facebook timeline, he put it out, cancelled that since a few days back, or if not up to 5 days. Scroll, you will see it. So please, let us continue and invite your friends and well-wishers to listen to this hallowed platform. Before I continue, I will bring in Wada to please make your introductory speech to dear friends and listeners. Go on, Wada. Welcome to the program. Go on.
Good afternoon, sir. And how are you today? Good afternoon, my fellow Biafrans. Good afternoon to Hamadike. Wherever he is, we continue to pray for his imminent release because he's a free man. Even the court of that country has set him free, and he must be free. That's the bottom line for us, and they know that. So my utmost respect, greetings to him, to DOS, starting from HODS, to every one of them, to all of us, to the least one among us, wherever we may be. Welcome to Radio Biafra. My names are Marianne T. Hyder, and I'll be speaking from United States, but I am originally from Umunoha. Umunoha is in Nnamdi local government in Biafra land. So welcome back to our program of Saturday, where we'll try to interact with one another, reason together, try to figure out where we went wrong, try to hash out and pull out who we were. That unique thing that makes us who we are, they call Ndibo. That's why we are here. So it's a learning and interactive program. We are all part of it, must be partakers. So I'm going to yield back now. Again, I say welcome back to the program. As we get ourselves ready, get all your goodies, relax, let's unfold the messages as they come today. I wish us all a listening ear and an open heart to receive the messages as they come. Thank you all as I yield back and I'll catch up with you.
I don't know, somebody that he took it to be calling. I cannot fathom, honestly. Very, very sad indeed. Welcome back. Yes. Well, can you hear me?
Mazi, can you hear me? Did I come through?
Yes. I don't know. Some people, they find it. We'll be blocking the number that are calling to interrupt the program whenever we start this program. Yeah, Wanda, I hope you can hear me now. Of course, it came through. Somebody tried to, call and block the line, That's their attitude. But don't worry. No. It's after everything you said was ahead. Don't worry about it. It's only when you drop to come. That's it. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, we must continue in spreading this good news of renaissance. This good news of awakening. That is what we are doing. Sometimes some people don't understand what is happening this time around. But we must continue. Therefore, let me first of all start by calling on Biafrans to understand the time we are in Biafra land. The politicians are turning our land into a desolation. They are recruiting people, youths, in order to continue orchestrating criminality against our people. Hope Uzodimma has his people. That vampire of Imo State, he is collaborating with the Fulani Caliphate in order to turn our place a non-habitable entity, whereby people will be running away. Now, do you see the reason why? When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw how this man was imposed in our land, he started shouting so that people will rise up. Do you see the repercussion of not doing anything? Are you now understanding that what Albert Einstein said is correct? That the people that will destroy this world is not the bad people, because they are very few. But when good people, they see all those bad things, they keep quiet. There are many good people that will keep silence in the face of bad things happening. That is what will destroy this world. In our land, in Imo State, in many parts of Biafra land, it is now being turned into a criminal entity, whereby, to kill, to slaughter is nothing. Courtesy of Hope Uzodimma. We also understand all his foot soldiers that they are using this Eze Ochiri of Amifeke. We understand what he is committing in our land. Remember the activities of what is this guy during the war? That is what they are replicating, to turn our land into a non-habitable entity. That is what they are trying to achieve, just because of their political interest, personal, selfish political interest. Eze Ochiri of Amifekolo. He and others, Akolisa, all of them. Akolisa is the Attorney General of Imo State and the Chief Justice of Imo State. They are the people, the killer squad. They have the killer squads in Imo State. This Akolisa is from Awitemili, Eziogu, Akuroji kindred, but he's residing in Imo State. He has been recruiting people in and encouraging people to be committing heinous crimes, armed robbery, killing and burning houses, something that we never experienced in our land. Just because these people are in direct, mission for the caliphate, to conquer us, to make sure that we are subdued. Our people, innocent people, are being slaughtered every day in our land. The reports we are getting is too many, very heinous. I'm telling you, very, very heinous. All they want to do is what the Fulani Caliphate has given to them as a mandate before bringing that fool, that vampire, that criminal, imposing him in Imo State. And the people that allowed it to happen, that even supported him at the onset, is Ohanes Ndigo. Iwanyan number one, that balloon, I will not forget. He chided Ihedioha not to go to pipe low, otherwise he will become a political leper. Iwanyan said it. These are people that are conquering us, are handing us, in the platter of gold to the caliphate, and here we must resist them. Therefore, I am talking to the youths in Olo, in Imo, in Anambra, in Bayelsa, in the whole of Biafra land. Please stop being tools. Some of you are being given money to join a Bubago. We know, we hear all these things every day. Some of you are being enticed to come and join a Bubago to start burning houses, killing people. What they do now is, even our people, some of our people are complicit. If somebody owes a landlord maybe 1 month, he will go and bring a Bubago so that they will carry his property. This is wickedness, self-inflicting wickedness. Our land is gradually being turned into a desolation because of these people. COC Akolisa, because of who put them in the top hierarchy, with the authority of Amifeke. Come on, we catch up with them, and these people must go down. Honestly speaking, they, even in that or not, the other day, I think yesterday, they kidnapped is it the chairman of that or not. After shooting his leg, they burned down the house and killed many people in Ugochinyer's house. And these are the ones we are hearing. Ordinary people that are dying, of stray bullets is uncountable every day. Innocent people that their families are being closed down because of one useless person that wants to be a governor. We should be wise. They have fully, let me tell you, they have fully stimulated the plan B of which Gowon gave them, or Basanjo gave them as a solution. That give Igbo man money, he will kill his fellow brothers. Nothing more. So why are you going to fight? They will kill the whole youths. Now the Fulani jihadists will come with ease and take over everywhere. That is what they are doing in our land. That is what they are doing in our land. They tell you to go join Obubago so that you burn our people's, innocent people's houses, kill innocent people. Highest thing they do now, once they kill you, they say you are in ESN. Very horrible. Our people should be wise. We shouldn't kill ourselves into extinction. It is very, very bad what our people are doing because of money. Some they will give them 30,000 naira, some 20,000 only, and they will start behaving irrationally like animals, beasts they are. But these people, your days are numbered, honestly. Your days are numbered. Therefore, we must continue. As I said, today we are going to continue. I put it on my Facebook timeline. Under upholding our values, we are going to talk about respecting different values or belief systems. respecting different values, that is belief systems. That is what we are going to talk about today. But before that, I will go into reading some news headlines, please. I will, there is no good news from the zoo called Nigeria. All are very horrible news. Very horrible, honestly. Let me see. I want to, okay, let me, first of all, before I go to the news, let me first of all read the press release, IPOB press release of yesterday. IPOB press release of yesterday. Let me see it, please. IPOB press release of 20th of January 2022. We condemn the barbaric murder of Igbo Catholic priests by Fulani terrorists in the north. The movement and the family of the indigenous people of Biafra, under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, condemn the barbaric murder of an Igbo Catholic priest by Fulani terrorists in the northern part of Nigeria. I said it that man is an Igbo man. Archie. Fulani herdsmen burnt an Igbo Catholic priest, Reverend Father Isaac Archie of St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church, to date in the Kafin Koro community in Paikoro local government area of Niger State. Fulani herdsmen invaded the community at about 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Just hold on. Let me bring it out more, please. Hold on. Okay. Fulani herdsmen invaded the community at 1 a.m. on Sunday and began shooting indiscriminately. It was reported clearly that the Fulani terrorists burned down the building where Reverend Father Archie hid when they couldn't gain access to abduct him. Even when the church members alerted Nigerian security agencies during the attack, they refused to come to his help and rescue. Do you see the country we are in? Are you seeing it? Yesterday I played the clip of the military intelligence officer, and I will replay it and analyze it more, because many things are inside that. Is it general, or I don't know his rank, or Colonel Olawumi, Kunle Olawumi? He said it plump and plain. That was when the Nigerian NDA, Nigerian Defense Academy, was attacked, where many soldiers, many cadet officers were killed, and even I think a captain or a major killed in Kaduna. He said it plump and plain that there are people in this country that the Boko Haram has succeeded in infiltrating the government. They put people in Asorok, and we are seeing it today. Nigerians kept quiet as if nothing is happening. They will be killing a priest, burning him into ashes. Nigerian police will be called. They will not come. They will not come. They will keep quiet, because it is planned. And when we are talking about rising up, using our values in order to fight back, because with this equation of algorithm that they did in your head, if they slap you here, turn back, pray for your enemies, you will be gone before you know it. You will go into extinct before you know it. But here we are trying to revive you back so that you start behaving as we should. Because we are not like this before. We are not docile like this before. I'm telling you. The religion they brought made us more docile, unresponsive, unreactive. Let me continue reading. It is imperative for Christians in Nigeria to understand that Fulani agenda, with tacit support from Fulani-controlled government of Nigeria, has an agenda to forcefully Islamize and Fulanize this country, Nigeria. The burning alive of Igbo Catholic priests in Niger State by Fulani terrorists is not only barbaric, but also a different affront to Igbo Nation and Christian Association of Nigeria. Fulani terrorists have been killing Igbo in the north at any opportunity, and this must not continue. Catholic Church and Nigeria Christians in general must not allow the constant intimidation and killing of Christians to continue. Christians, wake up. This Fulani jihad is directly targeted at you. Stop praying and fasting in the church. Wake up and do something. Arm yourself and do something. Fight back. That is what we say here. Fulani terrorist jihadists killed Deborah Yakub in cold blood in Sokoto State for doing nothing wrong. She did not do anything wrong when Fulani jihadists killed her and released Muslim ladies while abandoning Leah Shuaibu because she was a Christian lady, and Christian Association of Nigeria did nothing. Nigeria Christians are doomed if they do not stand up to defend themselves against these murderous Fulani agendas. Waiting on the Nigeria security agencies to defend them is committing suicide. Muslims in Nigeria are all in support of the numerous massacres and humiliations from the Fulani terrorists. It is time Christians wake up from their slumber and realize that the Fulanization agenda is here and is no longer a secret. The present government and their security agencies are part of the agenda. That is why they will never respond to distress calls during terrorist attacks. Neither will they arrest any of the murderous terrorists, let alone prosecute them. Christians must stand up and fight these terrorists or be exterminated. The agenda is not only about religion, but it's also an ethnic cleansing agenda supported by the Nigerian government and its Fulani-dominated security apparatus. IPOB is calling on all Christians and Christian organizations in Nigeria to wake up from their silence and slumber and from a resistance group for self-defense. Otherwise, Fulani terrorists masquerading as headsmen will exterminate them into existence. More so, we want Igbo Christians to be ready because we cannot afford to allow Fulani to be murdering Igbo priests posted to the northern region for apostolic work by the Catholic Church. Enough is enough. IPOB would have put these Fulani terrorists in their place if not that the Nigerian Army, Police and DSS agents are fighting as their backup. It is obvious that Nigeria government and her security agencies are working together with the terrorists to persecute Christians and non-Fulanis in Nigeria. But their Fulanization agenda will never succeed until Biafra nation exists from that contraction called Nigeria. Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for the indigenous people of Biafra. This thing that happened, have you seen did you ever see where maybe Yohanes and Igbo or Igbo groups come up? I'm not saying putting up a press statement or communique, no. Come up live, calling on bringing in front of Chinese television different press or presses, different media groups live, and address this, telling Nigeria to stop killing the Nigerian Christians, or even the Igbos. Have you ever had it? Do you ever see it? No way. The other day you saw where the Fulani rose up and said, no, they are going to do a strike, stopping to bring things to southeast because of the killing in the southeast, you know. And you wonder what type of people are these. They are the people that are killing, and they are the people that talk louder, shout louder and louder. All these things, the only comment Pope made was pray for the soul of somebody heinously killed. Cruelty, the highest form of cruelty, burning somebody alive. And may his soul rest in peace. Everybody say amen. And you will see some Nigerian Christians that will be happy that, oh, Pope talk about it. They will exterminate all of you. What we are clamoring for, remove this useless dogma they put in your head. If they slap you, go and pray for your enemies. Remove it from your mind and do something. That is only what we are clamoring for. That is what we are clamoring for. Because if you are killed, if you are slaughtered, you die. You come out no more. You become depleted. It doesn't matter which religion you answer. They don't care about you. It is only you that will care for yourself, please. They don't care about you. There is no God that is going to come from heaven in order to rescue you. Please remove this nonsense they put in your head and do something practical, something physical. That is what we say here, and that is why some people are not happy with us. We must continue. Let me just read a few news headlines. The same thing. Okay. 19th January, 4 Catholic priests killed, 28 abducted. The same thing. Analysis of media reports and data from a global Catholic charity organization based in the United Kingdom, Aid to the Church in Need, has revealed that no fewer than 28 Catholic priests were kidnapped in Nigeria in 2022. Do you see? The same thing, the same news, nothing more, the same thing. Terrorism spreading to southern Nigeria through north central, research experts lament. While people they are just looking at only for their selfish political interests, the Fulanese are making headways, using them to make headways down. Something I used to ask, you that is taking money in order to advance the foreigners' agenda in your land, have you imagined how our place will be? Have you imagined in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years how our place will be when you help in order to institute foreign or jihadists in our land? Have you imagined what will happen after your death, after you are gone? Have you imagined? Stop accepting money in order to do the biddings of foreigners in our land, in order to help Fulanese achieve their purpose in our land. Stop it. You are helping them. Stop it. In Benue, they say headsmen wipe out entire family. They kill husband, wife, 4 children, and others in fresh attack in Benue. The same thing. Well, something I used to ask. All these things, very few people, very few people, the Fulani are in charge, killing everybody. People that are less than 2% of Nigerian population, but they are slaughtering, massacring everybody, every indigenous population, and the people are not reacting as they should. It baffles me. It now tells you how the Europeans conquer Africa. I'm telling you honestly. This thing now is a lesson in our eyes. How few Europeans, less than 5,000 Europeans, conquered the whole Africa, Black Africa. You know why? When they come here, they use some people, they turn people against each other, or if they enter into conflicts, tribal conflicts that have been existing, they support one against the other, and before you know it, they conquer all. They use those conquered, now they use them in order to continue conquering others. Africans, they used to conquer Africans. What are those Africans getting? Their immediate food, money which they ate and died. They have died. They are no more. People that the Africans that helped to conquer other Africans, they are no more. All are dead. But the legacies, the bad, evil legacies they led remained and haunting each and every one of us. Do you see? Do you see the evil? Do you see it? Do you see the evil that men does lives after them? Do you see it? When these people are collecting money, helping white people to conquer their fellow black people, if they finish, they go back and buy food or live okay, buy a white horse as of that time, and drive bicycle and drive. They have made it. But when they live to their old age, they die. As they are no more, you see the evil thing they have done are living after them, torturing us that don't know. We are not alive that time. We were not there that time. The same way, whatever you are doing today, helping foreigners because of your selfish interest, it will haunt our future generations. No this, no it. I cannot understand for the goodness of me how little Fulani tribe, they are massacring everybody. Do you know it? When you see how North Africa that was booming. North Africa was a Christian region during the Roman Empire. But I will touch it during the body of my submission. Like this, all they lost. There now you see pockets of Christian churches only. Something that was built, maybe they will tell you is the 3rd century. Just like a museum only. In North Africa, in the Maghreb, before many people, you were here, Bishop of Morocco, St. Augustine, the person you are calling St. Augustine is an Algerian. Many of all these old Asian bishops that even influenced the writing of the Bible, they are from North Africans. North Africa. Many of them are from North Africa. But today, where is North Africa a Christian state? No way. The same way is what the Fulani are using now in our land. Gradual process. They are turning everybody. Just giving you what you eat. You eat. Take this, do this thing for me. You take. When you do, you don't know that you are helping to conquer your own people. Of which you might not suffer it, but the future generations will suffer it most. The same way we are suffering today. Herdsmen wipe out the entire family. What you hear is herdsmen everywhere. In Benue, in Biafra land, in everywhere in Nigeria, Castina, every part, even in Yoruba land. But come up. To the extent, the military intelligence officer, high-ranking official, came up against protocol in order to reveal to Nigerians what is going on. But what happened? Everybody is doing comedy with it. We continue talking. I'm telling you. Before I go into the subject matter of today, I don't know whether you want to say anything. You come in, please.
No, Mazi, go ahead with.
started. Now,
they have done are living after them, torturing us that don't know, we are not alive that time, we were not there that time. The same way, whatever you are doing today, helping foreigners because of your selfish interest, it will haunt our future generations. No this, there, no it, no it. I cannot understand for the goodness of me how little Fulani tribe, they are massacring everybody. Do you know it? When you see how North Africa that was booming, North Africa was a Christian region during the Roman Empire. But I will touch it during the body of my submission. Like this, all they lost. They are now. You see pockets of Christian churches only. There's something that was built, maybe they will tell you is the 3rd century. Just like a museum only. In North Africa, in the Maghreb. Before, many people, you were here, Bishop of Morocco, St. August, the person you are calling St. Augustine is an Algerian. Many of all these old Asian bishops that even influenced the writing of the Bible, they are from North Africans. North Africa. Many of them are from North Africa. But today, where is North Africa a Christian state? No way. The same way is what the Fulani are using now in our land. Gradual process. They are turning everybody, just giving you what you eat. You eat, take this, do this thing for me. You take. When you do, you don't know that you are helping to conquer your own people. Of which you might not suffer it, but the future generations will suffer it most. The same way we are suffering today. Herdsmen wipe out entire family. What you hear is herdsmen everywhere in Benue, in Biafra land, in everywhere in Nigeria, Katsina, every part, even in Yoruba land. But come up. To the extent, the military intelligence officer, high-ranking official, came up against protocol in order to reveal to Nigerians what is going on. But what happened? Everybody is doing comedy with it. We continue talking. I'm telling you. Before I go into the subject matter of today, I don't know whether you want to say anything. You come in, please.
No, Mazi, go ahead with. I want to come into the subject matter.
Okay.
Getting myself,
Okay. We must continue. We must continue. As I said, the subject matter of today, the topic of our discussion today, under upholding our values, is respecting different values or belief system. Different values and belief systems. That is what I'm going to talk about. Because you hear many people, they use this type of intimidation. Oh, respect my religion. Respect my religion. I used to laugh, honestly. Sometimes I say, oh, so these people, somebody will come and start saying, respect my religion. But they don't see, when they are disrespecting our own values, our own belief system, our own way of life, with impunity. They don't care. It is a fun. But when we try to defend our own, it becomes disrespect. This is a mind game they always play. But we will not fall for it. Never. We will never fall for it. It's impossible. I know, it's a mind game. What colonialists, what they used to do is neo-colonialism mentality. Now, as I said, respecting different values or belief system, respect, they say, is reciprocal, which means that respect should never be one-sided. Once it becomes one-sided, it becomes intimidation, imposition, and could lead to conquest. Do you understand? I am coming. According to the popular belief, Christianity was founded non-violently. Let me because this is something people used to argue. I want people to listen, and after I want people to call in order to aid their own view. It doesn't matter if your view is not synonymous with ours here. There is no problem about it. Only that you defend it. When you write a thesis, you have to go stand and defend your thesis. That is it. Here we make sure that superior argument rules. Let superior argument reign. Nothing more. So, listen attentively, because this has been the argument. I want people to listen. According to the popular belief, Christianity was founded non-violently. But I beg to disagree. I beg to disagree. Normally, Christianity is a name, or as a name, shouldn't be a separate religion. Christianity as a name, it shouldn't be a separate religion. You understand? Christianity should be a part and parcel of Judaism as a sect in Judaism. Christianity you are calling today as a separate entity. Remember what I said, my key word. I said according to the popular belief by many people that Christianity was founded non-violently. It is people that just go corrupt it. Now I say I beg to disagree, because what you call Christianity today, it shouldn't be a separate religion. Under normal circumstances, Christianity should be part and parcel of Judaism, or a sect in Judaism. The same way you have different sects in Islam. Let me tell you, in Islam, the most known names are Shia and Sunni, but there are many more. In Islam, you have the Shias and Sunni, yes, and many other branches or sects of Islam, such as the Ahmadiyya, the Alawites, Sufism, Salafism, Wahhabism, Ibadi, Zayidis, Ishmailis, etc. They have many more. If you understand? There are some that they believe that no, they don't believe in the lineage of a prophet. Some don't believe. Some believe Ali is this. Is supposed to replace Muhammad. They have different belief, but all are under Islam. But you will not know, because you are not inside. You will not know. Differences between these groups, I'm talking about these Islamic Muslim groups or sects, may not be well known to Muslims outside of scholarly circles. The same way others may not know the difference between Roman Catholic and other branches of Christianity. A Muslim, once you tell him you're a Christian, he will tell you what you know is Catholic. I don't know whether people have noticed it. Once you tell him you're a Christian, his mind, oh, you're a Catholic. When you start defining, no, my own is cherubim, my own is no, I'm not Catholic, that is your own. No, you don't know again. It's the same thing. So what am I trying to argue? I'm coming gradually. I want you to take it easy. What I'm trying to argue here, Many people that believe that Christianity was founded non-violently. I say I beg to disagree. It's not true. Because normally the original teaching which was bent and called Christianity today shouldn't be a religion, a separate religion. No. It shouldn't be. It should have been it came as part of Judaism, which is the way of life of the Jews, the religion of the Jews, Judaism. Now I am coming, please. Okay. Now, in Israel today, nearly all Israeli Jews self-identify with one of four subgroups: the Haredi, that is ultra-orthodox; the Dati, that is religious, or they are religious; the Masorti, the traditional; and Hiloni, that is secular. But all are generally Jews. Do you understand? I am just giving you, letter by letters for you to understand. In a religion, in Judaism, even you can have sects like in Islam, like in Christianity today. But normally, Christianity was not intended to be a separate religion from Judaism. Do you understand that? That is what I want you to take today. You can call in to give your view or contrary view, and we shall talk about it. You'll be ready to defend it. Now, people started embracing the teachings of Christianity as a form of dissent or resistance against the expanding Roman Empire. Originally, Christianity has no separate organigram or organization chart from that of Judaism. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Originally, Christianity, the religion you call Christianity today, it shouldn't be a separate religion. People started embracing Christianity or the teachings of this branch of Judaism, which you call today Christianity, as a form of dissent or resistance against the expanding Roman Empire. Originally, Christianity has no separate organigram or organization chart from that of Judaism. It was still taken as part of Judaism until the Roman Empire took hold of it, politicized it as a separate religion from Judaism. That is the origin of Christianity now. From the Rome, and organize it properly for their political purposes and benefits. I will expatiate more. The Roman Empire was afraid of this Jewish revival of the already moribund religion, which they believed to have conquered and put under their control. Do you understand? Rome conquered that part of the world, Middle East that time, Israel. When even Christ came, he was under the conquest of the Roman Empire. Do you understand me? I'm coming. Because when you read the account of Jesus, the person you refer to as Jesus, a separate account, a non-biblical account. There have people that kept records that time and talked about him. That is the truth. One of the persons is called Tacitus. He made reference that there was a man, he talked about it. But it is not what you are reading. I want you to understand. Now, let me tell you one thing. Imagine, in the Bible they say Judas sold Jesus. Judas sold Jesus with a kiss. Just let us now use our brain. If Jesus was a so-called national figure that time, that Roman Empire know and everybody was following this and that, how come the Roman police didn't even know who he was? They need somebody to go and even when they are around, somebody to give them the sign and say, look at the person. Which means he wasn't so popular. Oh, let us reason, because that is why we have brain. If they are telling you, there is something there, either they are not telling us the truth of what really happened, transpired, or that there are two things. Either what they write was not correct, they changed something there completely, or even the Jesus was not even it was not somebody that is well known everywhere. Otherwise, how can you, somebody that in Capernaum everybody follow him, he fed the 5,000, if the whole country was bubbling because of him. Now when it comes to arresting him, they don't know who he is. Do they resemble, the Roman police didn't even know who he is. They need somebody they have to pay to go, not to tell them where he was at that particular time. No, they were present. They want him to identify that person by giving him a kiss. Are we dummies? Are we dummies? There are things that they change, which you don't know. That is why Said Guru said, when a foolish person believes in something, it is a problem. You understand? When when you believe something without proof, know that you are foolish. And when a foolish person have a stamp of God on his foolishness, oh my goodness me, the world is in danger. That is what it means. So there are things you need to reason. You need to reason. If what they write is true, how? Just imagine in the then world, somebody that he rode on not horse, donkey, and the whole Jerusalem was awash. Everybody, even the Rome, they know him. He goes preaching from place to place, and people gather around him. Even the police, they were seeing him. The army, the Roman army, they are seeing him. Now, when it comes to arresting him, they don't know who he was again. Can somebody explain to me something about you? You need somebody to go and give physical sign that no, before you make mistake, this is him. I will kiss him. If it is okay, they don't know where he was. Maybe he was in Galilee, they didn't know. He ran to Galilee, they didn't know. They give information, so he was in Galilee now. You will meet him there, and he will not go there. No, but the presence of the police, the Roman police, they know where the people were, but they are confused because they don't know which one. The Jesus you are talking, which one? Just they need somebody to go and give them physical sign, touch him, say this is the person. No, you need to think deep. Because according to Said Guru, say an intelligent person always hesitates about every step he takes in life. When idiots becomes confident, the world is in danger. A foolish person is always confident of his idiocy. That's it. We shouldn't be. We are not created to be idiots. There is a limit to question you can question you can ask. No, this is not IPOB. We need to ask every question. Asking questions makes breakthrough, even scientific breakthroughs, because every scientific breakthroughs is because of questions asked, nothing more. When you say, the law of gravity, you say, no, you throw something, it come down. Why? How does this thing work? Why is something go up and come down? You say God created it like that. Don't question. Are you questioning God and you keep quiet? How can you build something, know the principles, and build something that will defy it as an aeroplane? Do you see it? So we shouldn't be stupid. We should always ask questions. Because I've been thinking about this. Every time when you read, Judas sold Jesus, okay, by kissing. Not by informing that he was in Capernaum or he was in Galilee or he was only if he was so popular. Now the police would have known him. They don't need somebody to go and identify. They can need somebody to tell them where he will be tomorrow as an insider. But they don't need somebody to go and identify him for them. Say, this is the person I'm talking about. If I kiss him, you will know. Something is there. There is something there. So we are coming. Now, as I was saying, the Roman Empire was afraid of this. The Roman Empire was afraid of this Jewish revival of the already moribund religion, which they believed to have conquered and put under control. This is because, as of the time of the Roman conquest and occupation of Israel, most Jewish leaders were already working with the occupying forces of Roman Empire. But all of a sudden, they started witnessing a new revival of the Jewish teaching, which they saw as a threat. Trying to revive the Judaism that the Romans believed to have been brought under control by compromising their leadership. Do you understand what I mean? During the time of the Rome, I will bring it to what the topic of today. During the time of the Roman Empire occupation, for them, they have conquered Israel, and Judaism is one of the most difficult religion, that the most conservative, that they don't agree, they believe in their thing. You understand me? And that is truth. They never say no. They never easily go and buy your own ideology as a religion. No. Instead, they are ready to die in that their way of life. Now, the Romans used diplomacy, put the Jewish leaders as to be working for them. That's where you have the scribes, tax collectors. You have the Pharisees and Sadducees. When the preaching, the teachings of Judaism, which Jesus, the person you are calling Jesus, which he came, Christ came and started telling them, because he wants to revive. He knows that they have fallen, so he wants to revive. Wanted to revive them back to their normalcy, because not that time they were working with the Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire, they were happy that this group of people that are rebellious in nature, they call them that they are rebellious in nature. They were rebellious in nature. Now they have used diplomacy in order to capture their leaders and put their religion into a state of moribund, a state of stupor, whereby corruption, everything, so he has no power again. The Romans were enjoying it until that Christ, that person started saying, no, we must, in order to get physical liberation, you must first of all go back to your values, uphold your pure values. That was his teaching. That is Judaism. It's not a separate religion. It didn't come as a separate religion. That is why every time, every teaching is their Sabbath day. Everything is he was circumcised according to this, according to records. Anyway, now the Romans, they believe that they are in charge. They were in charge now of these people, because once you are in charge of the religion of a people, you are or their value, you are in charge of them. Once you are in charge of their mentality, their psyche, their way of thinking, finish. So they were in charge of the Jewish leaders. working for them, being rich, making money. You understand? Being rich. They didn't care to observe their pure religion, which is Judaism. So, people that left their value, you can capture them, conquer them easily as anything. Now, this person, Christ, he came, he started preaching, telling them, look, reviving that Judaism. And the Romans became agitated. They were hearing there is one person that is preaching, abusing even the Pharisees and the Sadducees, abusing them. Why were they there and this thing happened, this and that? Because you have to, first of all, in order to deliver a people, you must first of all start from their culture, going back, referring them to who they are, who they were. You understand? You know, I used to say it. We learn from everything, even the Bible. Before Moses could rescue the the Jews from Egypt. Okay, according to the story, he asked the God and said, who are you? He said, I'm the God of your ancestors, which means he referred him, go back. He said, I don't even, somebody that was a trained in Egypt and as a priest, how could he know? He said, but go and tell them, the God of your ancestors, to go back to your values. That is what you are doing here. Some people take offense that it is anathema. Now I'm coming, please. We move on. Now, it is like Nigeria Caliphate trying to compromise our Biafra agitation. What I'm telling you about what the Romans did to the Jewish people. It is like the Sokoto Caliphate, the Nigeria, trying to compromise our Biafra agitation and giving us their own version of Biafra. You understand? Or today, as we are talking about Biafra, I want to restore Biafra. Now, I used to think this. One day I said it and everybody started laughing. I said, what of today if Nigeria now change their name and say, now we are Republic of Biafra? Nigeria, you know, as we are talking that Nigeria, everybody know that Nigeria is Negro, is a slur name, is a racial construct, that name only. Now, Nigeria now, all of a sudden they say now, as this thing clamor for Biafra is okay now, all of us from today, Nigeria will be called the Republic of Biafra. What will you do? Does it portray the reality of the Biafra we are looking for? Is it the Biafra? Is it our Biafra? It is not. It's only the name. This is what Romans did to Judaism and separated it. Today you are happy being a Christian, but it shouldn't be a religion of itself. That is what I'm trying to tell you. If Nigeria today, all of Asorok, they come out and say, okay, owing to the agitations that are going on, our brothers, today, please, Nigeria, we have understood that it is a racial construct, as I said by Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu. Today, we are changing Nigeria name to Republic of Biafra. Does it really portray Nigeria as Biafra? I want you to think, just think deep. Does it portray Nigeria as Biafra? What are you going to do? Are you not going to say, Chineke kwena ihe ọjọọ? I read this kind of Biafra. Nna ka ịchọwa another name. Aya wozi Biafra biko. Because ndị emebie na ha. This is exactly what the Romans did to Judaism, which they separated, and you are being happy being a Christian today. That is what they did. Exactly. I'm telling you. Now, in this case, the Roman Empire, through their power as the occupying government, first of all, tried to pull down this revived Judaism. They fiercely persecuted the adherents of this revived Judaism. Many of these Jews ran away from the Roman occupied Israel on some bullets. It's impossible. One of the runaway Jews called Mark ran to Egypt and started propagating the same Jewish ideology in Alexandria in approximately 50 AD. people started accepting it as a form of the resistance against the Roman expanding empire. Do you understand? This is because every other people, including North Africans, we are watching the menace of the Roman Empire, and they saw that this form of Judaism offers the needed resistance to the menace posed by the then Roman Empire. I don't know whether people understand me. Because of this reviving of the Jewish Judaism ideology by Christ, the Roman Empire started persecuting. They didn't persecute, they didn't kill them because they are different from others. No, but they are, as they are killing IPOB today, exactly the same thing. Because they are opening people's eyes. Say, let us go back to our ancient system in order to free ourselves. That was the reason why they were being targeted. It's not that they are going to heaven or no. It is a political thing. The Roman Empire don't want any uprising, because if people were, if enough people were turned up using the ideology, Judaism ideology, which these people have received from even Christ, now they will rise up physically in order to fight the Roman Empire in their land, to push them away. The Romans, they were threatened, they were afraid, and that is the reason why they started killing these people. They say, if we mercy for these people, they will open another people's eyes. They will open the whole of, they will stage people into rising up against us, and we shall be in a mess. As this thing was going on, do you know that time many other Northern Africans also, they were watching, because they know the menace of Roman Empire in every part of the world. So when they had somebody that come to their land in Egypt in 50 or 43 AD to 50 AD approximately, when he started teaching them that Judaism, that it is a way they have to rise up to resist. The people believe in him as a way of resisting that neo-colonization or neo-colonialism, as Roman neo-colonialism, that is a threat to them, because Roman Empire was expanding even down to North Africa, down to Egypt. So people were afraid. It was only a matter of time when their country, when their kingdom will be attacked. So any person that offers anything that will give them the adequate mindset or comfort in order to as a resistance, they will accept, and that is how they accepted. Do you understand? When the Romans now saw that they cannot quell this Jewish renaissance through violent way, through guns and bullets, the Roman Empire changed tactics. These tactics they change is now the origin of Christianity. You are happily identifying yourself with. Do you understand me? That is why I tell you that Christianity, where it originated, is from the Roman Empire. They now took it up. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of tactics. They tried to quell that uprising, because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of tactics. They tried to quell that uprising, because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of tactics. They tried to quell that uprising, because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of tactics. They tried to quell that uprising, because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of things. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. Uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or. Have to rise up to resist. The people believe in him as a way of resisting that neo-colonization or neo-colonialism, as Roman neo-colonialism that is a threat to them, because Roman Empire was expanding even down to North Africa, down to Egypt. So people were afraid. It was only a matter of time when their country, when their kingdom will be attacked. So any person that offers anything that will give them the adequate mindset or comfort in order to as a resistance, they will accept, and that is how they accepted. Do you understand? When the Romans now saw that they cannot quell this Jewish renaissance through violent way, through guns and bullets, the Roman Empire changed tactics. These tactics they change is now the origin of Christianity. You are happily identifying yourself with. Do you understand me? That is why I tell you that Christianity, where it originated, is from the Roman Empire. They now took it up. It is a change of tactics, or it was a change of tactics. They tried to quell that uprising because for them it was an uprising. It is nothing about religion, heaven or this and that. No. But it is an ideology that has been there, revived. People that have fallen, that have like in our land today, you see people. Are we not talking against them each and day by day? People that are taking position, taking political posts in order to serve the caliphate, are we not hammering on them every day? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Doesn't mean they will be. It's another religion. It's another Biafra. No, all of us are in it together. But because they have compromised themselves to the Nigerian caliphate, thereby offering themselves as tools, the caliphate is using them in order to make sure that they conquer us completely. They subjugate us. So when they saw somebody like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trying to revive history, tell history about Nigeria, they were surprised. It's an uprising to them. They don't like it. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in jail. You understand? We say Biafra is our religion. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in jail. That is why I ask you now, okay, in order to quell this uprising, this revolution that is taking place, Biafra revolution. Now, what if Nigeria now come and say, okay, now we declare Nigeria Republic of Biafra? Does it mean that we have achieved Biafra? The answer is no. Changing the name doesn't mean anything. We will be there, but we will not have control over our destiny. It's just like changing them is nothing. That is what the Roman Empire did. So the origin of Christianity comes from the Roman Empire, not from where you are talking about. No, because that place you are going in is not that, because it was not the origin, because it was not a separate religion. For your information, that is my argument. Now, as I said, when the Roman Empire saw that they cannot quell this Jewish renaissance, Jewish awakening through violence, they changed tactics. They took hold of the religion, changed the core teachings. The core teachings. Now, because they are the people that bring you the Bible, whether you like it or not, whether you feel they change the core teaching of Judaism there, telling you that a human being becomes a god, that there is Trinity, that God is three, one. You see what they think is Roman tradition. Now they inculcated and changed. It's another political tactics. And call it now, they separated it from Judaism and now made it a state religion. It became an ideology. So that everybody, people will say, okay, now this resembles what we have been told before, so let us join. Do you see it? Remember what I'm telling you. I keep on reminding you or making this reference. If Nigeria today declare, okay, from today we will be called the Republic of Biafra, will you say that Biafra has come? It will be their Biafra. You understand? It will be their Biafra. It is not the result. It is not what we are clamoring for. No, it is only changing them. Now they change them, change the color of the passport, may be red. Any other thing? Does it? If they do all those things, does it mean that our marginalization has stopped? No, it's a ploy, political ploy. That is what the Europeans did. That is why I'm telling you. Anybody that is saying Christianity started as a no, it's lie. Christianity started from Roman Empire. I'm saying it. You can call and air your view. Tell me contrary what you believe. Forget about this. Tell me. Don't worry. It's not a quarrel. It's not personal. We are exchanging ideas. The Romans took hold of the religion, changed the core teachings, differentiated it from Judaism, highly compromised it, made it a Roman universal state religion, and started using it as a new ideology for conquest. Do you understand me? Therefore, the Roman Empire therefore changed the core original Jewish teachings and replaced it with their own Roman tradition and myths for their political benefits and turned it as a separate religion. They started using it as an organizational and ideological force for conquest. And this is what you are defending today as a religion, whereas the people that understood that their way of life, that is their religion, was hijacked and changed for political purposes, quietly removed themselves from that great grand conspiracy. That is the Jews. That's why they don't believe in Christianity. You understand? They tell you, I had a video. They interviewed in the street of Tel Aviv. They interviewed many Jews, real Orthodox Jews, who hardcore Jews. They say, are you between Christian church and mosque? Which one do you prefer to enter to pray? If for necessity. He said, no, he can never enter into any Christian church because what they are worshiping there is an idol. Do you understand? Or many of them, they interview the person is a video interview. So they know that their plan was sabotaged. And now they quietly remove themselves. They say, no, this is not our way of life. Because Roman Empire has the power. They were the government that time. They have extraordinary resources in order to do anything they want to do. Do you understand me? So, that is the thing. Now, let me say it again. It is therefore through the same Roman Empire conquest with Christianity that you are able to become a Christian today. Because had it been that the Roman Empire didn't interfere with the teachings of Christ, original teaching, which many of the manuscripts were burnt. Many were not. They changed almost everything. You will not be able to become. Europe cannot be a Christian country today, a Christian continent. Never. If Roman Empire didn't interfere with that teaching, that version of Judaism, there wouldn't have been anything as Christianity as a separate religion today. I'm telling you honestly. So that is my point. Wada, I don't know. You have to come in here before I continue.
I'm here, Mazi. You just open another kind of worm. I'm going to pivot there before I go to my own prepared lessons. Now, Mazi, the analogy you just gave now provoked my thought again. Perfectly said. Mazi, what you just analyzed to us right now is playing before our own eyes. What do I mean? Let me put a little bit of light or beam of light on what the analogy you just gave us, Mazi. What you just described is exactly what is happening. Let me put it this way. Yeshua, whom they call Jesus, is the Messiah that the Jews have been anticipating for centuries. The question is, why were they anticipating this Messiah? Mazi, that is what you described when you began. They were subjugated. They were occupied by the Romans. They were going through stress of life. They were expecting Messiah, a Redeemer, a Messiah. Because first of all, according to their Torah, they were promised in the book of Isaiah. Let me get it. In the book of Isaiah, book of Isaiah, verse 45, verse 2. I'm giving this so that our people who are into Christian religion can go and fish it out. Isaiah, read the book of Isaiah, you will see it there. Chapter 45, verse 6, 2, I meant to say, where a prophecy was said that this Messiah is going to come to set things straight. That means something went wrong. You remember, we must remember the backdrop that in this era we're talking about, humanity relied heavily on philosophy, spiritualism, call it that. Technology and science had not taken the amount of hold it has on humanity today. So everything was spiritual. So that was when you can call it the era of prophets, spiritualism, prophecies. So that's what we're dealing with, the backdrop. So they found themselves in this situation, this quagmire, which is what we have found ourselves today as Biafrans. So we have been crying, we have been screaming, we have been shouting since the amalgamation of Nigeria. The Biafrans have found themselves to be getting the short end of this stick in every ramification. We have been crying even during the civil war, the so-called civil war, which was genocide. We were massacred. If you even go back to the songs that were sang, we are relying on God, Jehovah, God, Jesus, whatever, help us. We are still doing the same. So now, that was the same thing they were doing. Now came Yeshua. Now comes our Hamadike, because I want to play this thing so that we can see the importance of your analogy right now. If you pay attention, you can even see what is happening, as what happened is what is unfolding. When Yeshua came, he began to preach. He was sanitizing the society. That's what Hamadike had been doing and continue to do. I've always told people, once in a while, when we started this program, pay attention the number 400 years. A Messiah will be released to a particular group of people when their stress gets enormous. Now, Messiah, Yeshua, came in, began to sanitize his people. Just like you stated, the Roman Empire, it caught their attention. Just like in our own case now, Nigerian government, our Hamadike caught their attention. We have to look at it, it's like the same movie playing again, deja vu. But let me lift one or two things that will support your arguments. I just wanted to put that background because I can people see the importance of your analogy right now. When you go to the book of March, let me start with the book of Isaiah, which I referenced first. He said this, the book of Isaiah, he says, I'm reading from King James. Isaiah 45 verse 2 says, I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass and cut in sunder the bars of iron. He was talking to the Jews. And I will establish this. He was not talking to the whole world. He was talking to the Jews. Because at that time, when he came, at the time we're talking about, if you talk, that's why we have different history, different, people were talking about the world. There was a time you will hear, when you go to history, you hear Rome ruled the world. So at that time, when an empire, you hear the name of the empire. Our people must have this visual understanding that when you hear the Roman Empire, it was not confined to the Roman Empire or country or Italian country we are looking at today. No, it will compose of literally the whole known world. Then that's what it means. So at that, so you look at it as an era. There was a time it was Egypt. There was a time it was the Greeks. We have to understand this. So when he came, he caught the attention of them. So this Messiah was sent to go and set the Jews free from the occupation, subjugation of the Romans. Now, another scripture I bring in because I just want to support my argument. You go to the book of Luke, chapter 3, starting verse 5 and 6. It says, a voice of one calling in the desert, prepare the way of the Lord, make straight path for him. Every valley shall be filled in, every mountain and hill made low. The crooked roads shall become straight. the rough way is smooth, and all mankind shall see salvation. When he used that word mankind, he was talking about a known world. He was talking to them as their own world. He was not speaking about the whole world. Now, the importance of this is, again, you will go, the last scripture I'm going to read, then we'll move forward. You will go to the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5 and 6. It says, Jesus said to the 12 apostles as he sent them out during his life, do not go in the way of the Gentiles, and do not enter any city of the Samaria, but rather go to the lordship of the house of Israel. This is the caveat here. He said, do not go in the ways of the Gentiles, and do not enter the city of the Samaritans. What the implication here? Samaritans were Gentiles. Rather, he charged them, but rather go to the lordship of the house of Israel. He did not ask them to go all over the world, because I believe I heard somebody, or I've heard one or two people saying, he said go to the world. No, Jesus never asked anybody to go and preach all over the world. The preaching out for all over the world was after the Pentecost in the book of Acts. That is when the disciples decided to start reaching out. But Yeshua himself, the statement that came from his mouth, he said, rather go to the lordship of the house of Israel. And in the book of Matthew chapter 15 verse 24, Jesus said, I was sent only to the lordship of the house of Israel. Matthew chapter 15 verse 24, and I'm quoting here, Jesus said, I was sent only. I didn't write the Bible. But people try to misquote him. When people want to quote the apostles, let them go ahead and quote the apostles. But when you want to quote Yeshua, quote him correctly, because if you have a study Bible, you will see that every quotation of all his speeches were written in red. He said, I was sent only to the lordship of the house of Israel. I'm trying to establish, just like Ohamadike came, or is now with us. I think I made that reference yesterday. It will be wrong for in the next 200 years or 300 years or 500 years, somebody will be preaching to another society or culture that Ohamadike is the savior of the whole world. The only thing one can establish that Ohamadike came, God sent him to save these people, his people called Biafrans. Now, every other community or societies, after we have been saved and established a flourishing society, they can glean, they can reference to him, but that does not mean that Mazi or Hamadike, one of Biafra land, God sent him or he came for the whole world. His mission right now is for you and I. Now, I think I've established enough points, I believe our people took it in. The last one is this, the book of Matthew chapter 15 verse 22. He said, this Gentile woman recognized Jesus as Messiah, but Jesus did not answer a word. Because that was the Gentile woman Jesus Christ said, woman, I did not come for the Gentiles, I came for the Jews. So you will see all these references, all these sightings in the Bible, where Yeshua himself, where each time he was confronted, he was clear and clean. He didn't mix word. He was not east or but. I came for the Jews, I did not come for the Gentiles. And what do you mean by the crooked ways? Was what you just referenced, Mazi. That was when their religion, which was the culture of their day, which was the mantra, the yardstick of how they lived their life, was corrupted. You know, all this corruption, this is what we're talking about. Look at where we are, our way of life, our culture has been polluted, hijacked by some charlatans. He was telling them, I have come to take us back. Because when we talk about taking us back, people say, why are we going back? It was the same thing Yeshua said. And that was why Yeshua worshipped in this synagogue. He never worshipped. There was no church at the time he lived. You know, you'll be surprised if you ask some of these Christians, was Yeshua a Christian? Some of them will answer you yes without thinking. He was never a Christian. There was never anything like Christianity. He worshipped, in fact, as a matter of fact, the Bible said he worshipped in this synagogue and performed every ritual as a Jewish man. The only thing he did was to come and fish out the corruption that were embedded. Go and look at all his parables. All his parables were teaching, trying to, you know, direct people to the right thing to do and leave the corruption. That's exactly what Ohamadike, when you pay attention to Ohamadike's preaching, telling us all these things. We are shooting ourselves on the feet. How we have corrupted ourselves, our leaders, because of what? Monetary accumulation, well, physical accumulation, and they negate the important thing that they have been elected or been seen as the leaders is to take care of the people and be the custodian of the culture and the people. That's the same message Ahmadike is preaching. Let us remember that Ahmadike tried to work with them, but when he realized that they are so corrupt that nothing can be salvaged out of them, that is when Ahmadike began to push this movement. But let me go quickly to my one or two things I prepared for us now, because my own argument today, I'm coming as a rebuttal to what happened last Saturday. What I mean by that, I'm coming to answer back one or two arguments that were made by our brother, Dr. Donald Azubike. I personally, as an individual, I've always stated one or two places, if you hear my voice, I love conflict. I try not to see conflict from the negative point of view, because when you speak about conflict, conflict has positive and negative aspect of it. I've always tried to channel myself to see what I can deduce from any conflict that comes my way. So I channel myself to ask myself, why is this conflict? What can I learn? What can I improve? It induces me to go into my deep thinking cocoon and pull out one or two things, and that's what I have done this time. So quickly, I will start by saying my first argument was, which was the question that was asked, who are ancestors and what is an ancestry? I did a lot of researches during the week, and these are the things I came. I'm going to be a little bit brief because I have a lot, but I'm going to run this in segment by segment. I will continue until I exhaust all the information I pulled out. But let's give us a little bit today. Who are our ancestors and what is ancestry? These are the information I got. It says, an ancestor are individuals from whom you are biologically descended from. That's the ancestor. Now, I went further to ask another question. What is ancestry? Because sometimes these two words are interchanged, when we are speaking. So I try to find out whether they connote the same meaning or whether we can separate them. So when it comes to ancestry, ancestry is information about them. That is information about our ancestors and their genetic relationship to us. Because I remember when I was arguing with our brother Donald, I told him, I said, if you go back to a Biafra land and go to your compound and pick up the sand and analyze it, I guarantee you, scientifically, I guarantee you, you will pick up some of the genetic profile of your ancestors. That was why I went to ancestry. And this statement here agrees with me. It says, what is an ancestry? An ancestry is information about our ancestors, their genetic relationship to us. I'm paraphrasing here. So let's move forward a little bit. So now I said, now the great question we must ask must be this. Where did it, now we have established that our ancestors are those that lived that came before us. They are dead because you can only be an ancestor when you die, and their genetic profile is running in each and every one of us. That is why even in America here, you see a whole lot of people, especially Black Americans, doing what you call ancestry profiling, and it takes them back to Nigeria, to every part of Africa, So, but let me go forward. He said, now I ask the question, which I call a great question. Where did every human being started from, according to scientific researchers and researchers and research? Because having established what an ancestor is, let's see what happened. I said, why is every human being on the planet indigenous to Africa? And why is Africa sometimes referred as the mother of humanity? Because when you go scientifically and check, according to researchers, archaeologists, historians, geologians, whatever you call it, it points back that Africa, the continent we refer to Africa today, is the origin, is every human being, all their genetic profile points towards that. That is why Africa is sometimes referred as the mother of humanity. Another nickname for African continent is mother continent, because Africa is the oldest inhabitant continent on earth. Humans and human ancestors have lived in Africa for more than 5 million years. Furthermore, human species came from Africa. Every species of human being you see today originated from Africa. That is why when you run a DNA test on everybody, genetic profiling, they will have, no matter how minute, they will have an African genetic profile on them. So, that's who we are. Now, another argument I made is, had this continent always been called Africa? And I found out something interesting. The answer is no. It takes me to find out that Africa was originally called Alkebulan. Alkebulan, which is Alkebulan. When you go and begin to read into this, when Africa was called Alkebulan, it will take you to understand when you talk about the history of the Kemites, the history of Africa by Dr. Cheike Ana Diop Rice. When you go and look at this, he said in the Kemite, the history of Africa by Dr. Cheike Ana Diop Rice. The ancient name of Africa was Alkebulan. Alkebulan means mother of mankind or garden of Eden. He says Alkebulan is the oldest and the only word of indigenous origin. It was used by the Moors, the Nubians, the Numidians, the Hadans, Carthaginians, and Ethiopians. So now, there was another argument that our brother brought up. Like I said, what I'm trying to do today is rebuttal, which is pushing back or argue or bring a counter argument to some of the questions he asked, because he asked who were our ancestors. I think have done a little bit of good to that or answer to that, because I don't want to. I'm trying to compact whatever I put in down, so I can't read them all the way I wrote them. So another thing was our brother asked, what was the contribution, or what were the contributions of our ancestors? Because the way his question came, from my perspective, the way I understood him, it was like our ancestors were dumb. They didn't do anything. They were just there until the white, the Caucasians, after they left Africa, because there's something we call the waves. I'm not going there today, because now we have established that all mankind started from Africa. If all mankind started from Africa, that means every other left Africa to be where they are today and continue to be. So now, if that's the question, and somebody is trying to establish that it's like our ancestors, they lived there. Now, what talking about when we began to document when they lived there? They must have lived there beyond the 5 million years. So, but let's start from the 5 million years. So they lived there, and we know that this migration I'm talking about happened about 500,000 years ago. So somebody is trying to tell us that our ancestors were idle doing nothing until those who migrated, got enlightenment, came back and began to educate us. Because that's the implication of when somebody asks the question, what did our ancestors do when it comes to contributing to human development? Let's see one of the things I found out. He said, I wrote it this, I said, now let us take a look at some of the major inventions of our ancestors that shaped and paved way to modern inventions of science and technology. And I'm going to talk about them on a subheading I will call What Our Ancient Ancestors Invented, and they are as follows. One of them, medicine, mathematics. The calendar you and I use today, it didn't start with modern civilization. Ancestors were already calculating days, months, and seasons. Metallurgy. Metallurgy is the ability to manipulate metals. Up here, that's what I'll start invention, because if I start going, it's going to be long. So I wrote about the ancient medicine. It actually has some sort of medicine since the earliest days of the species. Talking about here is the development of systematical medicinal culture. Medicinal culture. The ancient Egyptians had one of the oldest institutionalized. that does not mean that those who lived 5 million years ago were not practicing medicine. Of course they were. But we are talking about when they begin to document, build it up, put it into institutions where people can go and learn, transfer it instead of just orally or just by watching. So he said it was institutionalized. He said the ancient Egyptians have one of the oldest institutionalized cultures of medicine in the world. Professional healers not only use routine treatment for a variety of ailments, but they recorded their knowledge as well. This let them establish schools of medicine, with each generation building upon the accumulation of the last. As a result, the ancient Egyptians could do some pretty advanced stuff. They were able to complete complex surgeries and mend broken bones and deal with maladies of the digestive, nervous, and cardiovascular system. These treatments required medical tools and healing herbs and minerals, as well as magical spells. And of course, our ancestors developed all those tools. All the tools they needed in all the surgeries, all the tools they needed to carry out all these acts, the mending of the bones and whatever. Let me list to us some of the things they came up with. They started creating things too. The fishing hook, bow and arrows, and even boats were first invented by Africans long before the advent of the written history. Even as humans started migrating out of Africa, those remaining on the continent did not stay idle or aloof. Rather, they kept on inventing. We before the advent of the written history. Even as humans started migrating out of Africa, those remaining on the continent did not stay idle or aloof. Rather, they kept on inventing. We along with complex systems of medicine, ancient Africans also developed systems of mathematics. Ancient Egyptians institutionalized the learning of math, which resulted in monumental architectures like the pyramids. Calendar. Further evidence of the mathematics stemming from Africa is the finding of talithics. Talithics, T-A-L-L-Y, long segments of bone or wood, incised with markings to denote quantities. Devices have been found around the world, but the oldest may be the Lambombo bone that was discovered in Switzerland or South Africa. Oh, Swaziland, sorry, Swaziland of Africa. At roughly 43,000 years old, it represents the oldest indication that ancient humans were using organized system of mathematics to account for various quantities. In this case, it is widely believed that the markings relate to the number of days in the lunar months. So they were already dealing with calendars. Calendar is not a new thing. Because even when we go to our own culture, or something that they will count the rotation and revolution of the earth under the sun so accurately, they miss it by just one day, so accurately. And these are people who want to try that they brought nothing and they knew nothing. He goes to say, I went to write. That brings us to another notable invention, the calendar. Ancient African societies had acknowledged knowledge of astronomy and had learned from very early dates how to present the movement of the earth, sun, moon, and stars into an organized system. Our ancestors did this, and it all started from Africa. Now, the earliest evidence of this dates back to a mysterious structure in southern Africa made up of stone circles called Adam's calendar. It is a large collection of stone structure assembled into what appears to be an astronomical calendar. It is basically like Stonehenge, but much older. While this remains one of the most controversial sites in Africa, some scholars have proposed that it may be up to 75,000 years old. If this date is accurate, it will be the oldest human-made structure in the world. But let's go to metallurgy, which is dealing with metals. And this is what I got. Ancient Africans seem to have realized this early on, the use of metals. Why humans in other parts of the world did not start fully utilizing metal until much later. Africans were smelting iron nearly 2,500 years ago. But remember, at Ugwele in Biafra land, the archaeologists found axes that were made from iron, smelting of iron, 250,000 years ago. Not 200, not 25,000, 250,000. So for a community or a society or a development to come up with such a complex and brilliant product, they must have lived beyond that invention. But let's go with this one. So metal tools can be found across Africa, where ancient society began exploring rich mineral deposits millennia ago. So I'm going to leave it here because, like I said, what I try to bring in is rebuttal to some of the things that happened last week. I thought I could say that, you know. So let us not continue to look down our ancestors. I'm not even talking about the food. I know we're all aware of the food, our cultures, our masks. That is why I went a little bit deeper to dig out things beyond just our food. Because when we just continue to talk about food, some people will look at it that, oh, anybody could have figured it out. Our ancestors were embedded. Our ancestors were involved, heavy in researches. They came up with a lot of every scientific thing you can think about, foundation, science and technology, you can trace them back to Africa. That's who our ancestors were. And that's what we're talking about. We're trying to get us here. That they were smart, they were brilliant, they laid the foundation. And we must understand that one of the hardest things in life when it comes to invention is if that pioneer, the person that first laid that, comes out with that intuition, comes out with that idea, that vision, and begin to lay it down. For example, the cell phone you and I are using today was not the very first cell phone that was invented. The very first cell phone, which was not too long ago, was so big and huge. But that breakthrough, even in computer, that breakthrough, that brain that brought out that concept is the main kicker. Because you call it the spark. That's the spark. After that, everything everybody is doing is a build-up. So all credit must go to ancestors who started all these things I just mentioned a few. Mazi, I'm going to yield here for now as we continue to roll the ball. Thank you, Mazi.
We must continue. We must continue and we must continue, notwithstanding. As I was saying, remember the topic of today's submission is about upholding our values, and the subtopic in it is respecting different values, that is, different belief systems, in other words. Now, I will continue to what I'm saying, because some people might be not comfortable, but let me, in what we are doing or what we are saying, let me tell you one thing. Without restoring or upholding our values, it will be impossible to restore a nation that will be to our liking. I am honest with you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said this several times. Without going back to our values, Nigeria might as well give us their version of Biafra for us. I'm telling you honestly. Because our value is what will keep us as a people, not what they brought to us. You have to deal with it. Deal with it. Our value. What we have in IPOB is our value, not what they brought to. You know, in Christianity, they tell you that it is a personal race. You understand? It is a personal race that you have to stand personally to fight for your survival. It's a personal race. But for us to restore in this race of restoration, we must go back to our value, which is honorable one also. What does it mean? Whether you are Catholic, whether you are what do you call it, CMSO, whether you are apostolic, it doesn't matter where you belong to. The bedrock of our value is honorable one also. This is our value. It's not what is brought to us. That is what we are saying. It's nothing else. That system, I saw some people, I cherish it. I think this is the second people, whether from Ogidi, they gather as a people, go for pray in the language of heaven. That the people, any person that is fighting against his brother in this town, that this land will bring you down. This is who we are. You can never achieve this in Christianity. Because in this one we say, no, I am Jehovah's Witness. The other one will say, no, I'm apostolic. My daddy Jew will say, no, don't be with unbelievers. Do not associate yourself with unbelievers. It is what he said. And we continue perishing as a people, only moving individualism. What we are trying to do here is to continue guiding ourselves, bringing ourselves together. You know, the other day I talked about one of our values. When something happened or happens in a community, maybe a crime is committed, and people will gather. If the person, the culprit, is not located, now we have our way of doing it. When you knock the gong, people will gather, and once people, adults, the question will be asked: did any person see who stole the yam or in the house of Nwokeke? The person said no. Everybody said no. In our land today, when you talk about this type of thing, when you talk about this type of thing, or anything that happened in a village of such, now people will start denying. And once you say, let us go to our village, hey, this one will say, no, my faith says I should not go. The Bible says. The other one will say, oh, I'm from Assemblies of God. Bible say, you see, and the culprit will be there among them, and will be divided as a people, and we cannot achieve nothing. Do you understand me? But today we are going back to our values. Our values. That is what we are talking about. Uplifting or upholding our values. Now let me continue. Let me continue. Now let me continue where I stopped. I don't know. I will fix this issue that is coming and going, but I will fix it honestly. I found out the problem and I will fix it. Okay. As I was saying, it is therefore through the same Roman Empire conquest with Christianity that you are able to become a Christian today. It's a fact. That is where I anchor my argument. Because when you say that Christianity didn't start with violence, I say no. Roman Empire started Christianity with violence. And that is true. They started Christianity. Without Roman Empire, you wouldn't be a Christian. Without Roman Catholic, Roman Universal State religion, you will never be a Christian today. It's a fact. It's a fact. It would have continued being the Jewish religion it should be. That is it. Christianity came to West Africa with the arrival of the Portuguese merchants in 15th century, after the reconquest of the Iberia Peninsula. They call it Reconquistador.